Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast, Women Tech Makers Montreal. I'm Stefania, I'm the lead of Women Tech Makers Montreal chapter here in Montreal, of course. And with me there is Leticia.
Hello everyone, I'm Leticia, co-organizer of Women Tech Makers Montreal, and now I'm also part of the Women Tech Makers community here in Italy.
Wow, you are international.
Yeah. And yeah, so today we have this extra episode and we are going to talk about our experience in these events, right? International Women's Day events from Montreal to Europe.
Yeah, two different countries. We had this event for people out there that it's just the first time that you are listening to us. Women Tech Makers Montreal, in general, Women Tech Makers, we can say, has an annual event for International Women's Day where basically we each community organize an event with a lot of speakers and a lot of different activities. And we do that in order to have more knowledge sharing, but also networking opportunities. So it's made by women and men, but mainly the speakers are usually women. So here in Montreal this year, it was a big event because it was our 10-year event. So we had 27 speakers and we had different types of talk, soft talk and tech talk. And this year we also introduced the workshops with limited number of people. So it was a very interesting experiment. It worked very well. And also it was the first time that there was a speaker. She has 14 years old and she presented to us the work she's doing in healthcare with machine learning. So it was a beautiful experience, full of people, but especially full of laughs and smiles. So, and what about you, Leticia? Now that is your first time for Women Tech Makers in Italy, so I'm very curious to hear about it.
Yeah, so this year was like special for me. Like I had the chance to be involved in different Women Tech Makers events, and I'm now living in Turin, Italy. So I had the opportunity to be involved not only in Montreal, but also Turin and also Milan, because we just started a chapter in Milan too. So yeah, just talking a bit about Montreal, even though I couldn't attend the Montreal event in person, I was connected behind the scenes and I could truly feel the energy from far. So it was a really great event. Like I wish I would be there in
But
Montreal.
you were there. You were there. You were
Yeah.
one of the protagonists of the keynote.
Yeah, that's great. It was really special for me, this. And yeah, so this year's different for me because of this. I'm in Italy. And when I moved to Italy, one of the first things I did was like search for local women tech makers ambassadors on LinkedIn. And I reached out to a few people, and that small action made all the difference for me. And I felt welcomed by the community before I even arrived here. So it was really good. And yeah, so in Turin, one of the things that I realized, especially in Turin, I faced a different kind of challenge, the language barrier, because the entire event was basically in Italian. So it's similar to Portuguese, but it still pushed me out of my comfort zone. But it was a great opportunity to practice and learn. And one of the highlights of this specific event in Turin was a talk by Rosilari. She has a background in neuroscience and data science, and her work is transforming gynecological diagnostics using AI and computer vision. And she presented basically an AI system that helps identify tumors through ultrasound images developed in close collaboration with medical experts. And she talked something that we already mentioned in one of the episodes about healthcare in AI with Zoe. And she said she gave an example about heart attacks. The classic symptoms is like pain down the left arm, for example, and are true for many men. But for women, heart attacks often show up as headaches or nausea. And because these symptoms aren't considered typical, many heart attacks in women go undiagnosed. So yeah, and it was really cool because we just talked about this in one of the previous talks and was really good. I really like it. And talking about Milan, we basically started a new chapter in Milan. This event was centered on leadership, basically. So we had amazing talks about this topic. We have panel as well. And to me, one of the biggest wins of the night was seeing both women and curious, respectful men engage in meaningful dialogue during the Q&A session. It basically showed that when we create open and welcoming space, people are willing to show up, learn, and support each other. So it was really, really cool.
Yeah, in my case, I can see that basically it was something needed, especially because I don't know how it is perceived right now, all the initiatives for DEI, so related to inclusion and diversity. But here we can feel that we are kind of near to the States. And I will say that this year was a little challenging because during the preparation, during the last months, basically, we had some challenges, especially for the sponsors, because they were not at ease to be publicly displayed in this kind of initiatives, because you never know. And so the thing is that basically I thought that this kind of event is even more important right now, because we see a lot of people that can meet, networking, and also have new connections. But at the same time, we can also talk about how things are going in the everyday world. And we did a panel with every organization in Canada that support women in tech. From different point of view. So, for example, we were able to discuss about how the Latinos part are living this kind of situation, and in general, how they are impacted if we don't have any DEI policies. So I think it's an interesting opportunity when we have this kind of event, because we can basically show to the world that some stuff are extremely important, even if we are in a challenging time. In general, I was, however, very happy again. One of the things that I see is that when I look at the photos, and we will have the photos very soon on our social media, but when I look at the photo, I see people with a big, big smile. And the greatest feedback that we had, it was that usually when you talk about tech, or when you are in a different business environment and event, the atmosphere is not so positive. And the atmosphere that we had in our event, it was not only positive, but gave the motivation to people to keep going with their tech stuff or also try new stuff. So I think that's the best thing ever that we could ever done.
So I think it's really important to have these kind of events, because like sharing my personal experience. So since I arrived in Italy, I also joined GDD team in Milan, and I'm the only woman on the team. And I noticed something like when women are part of the organizing team, more women show up. So it's important to have this kind of events because we can have more inclusive space for everyone and
safe space too.
Safe space, exactly. So space open for everyone. And I truly believe that space where women have a voice are space where more voice feels safe to exist.
Yeah, and at the same time, I can say also that it's important for men, because they can see that we were discussing about that during the panel. Like, I think that if you want to be a CEO, you need to be aggressive and wear a black suit and so on. But at some point, one thing that was said, it was, yes, but maybe if we can try to change this narration, it will be also good for men, because they don't like to be aggressive all the time. So being in this kind of situation, this kind of events, for them is also important, because they can see things in a different perspective. And at the same time, we can have an open space for discussion, which is, again, great because we need to be both allies. So that's great. Okay, so we know that this is a short episode, but again, it was a crazy month with a lot of stuff to do. But at the same time, we were happy to not only be present online with this short episode, but also in person with our different events. So the party is not over. I know that right now people are in Las Vegas for Cloud Next. We'll see if we can catch any of our people in the team to have some impression for them. After that, there will be Google I.O., but since there is Google I.O., this means that we are on May and there will be a new episode of our podcast. We had several people that sign up for the tutorials Women Make Tech. So stay tuned because we will have more episodes. That's it. I think we have a lot of stuff to do already. Maybe we can do a spoiler, but at some point, instead of observing two screens, one with me and the other with Leticia, you might have only one screen in one of the episodes to discover which one you will need to listen to us, and stay tuned. So thank you, Leticia, again.
Thank you, Steph. This episode was great to share our experience. And yeah, so see you in the next episode.
See you and say goodbye to the cat that is here if you are listening